The night was loud. The city pulsed with life cars honking, neon lights humming, drunken laughter spilling out of bars. But none of it mattered to me. My legs ached after a double shift at the cafe, and all I wanted was my bed. So I cut through the back street. A shortcut. 10, maybe 15 minutes saved. 15 minutes mattered. My curls bounced with each hurried step, catching bits of neon glow from the liquor store sign. I clutched my bag tighter, eyes scanning the shadows that swallowed the narrow alleyways. This wasn't my part of the city, and I knew it. Every instinct told me to keep my head down and keep moving. I don't belong here. Just walk fast. Don't look. Don't stop. Then it came. A sharp crack. A gunshot. I froze. The sound echoed against the brick walls, ripping the night in half. My heart stopped, then hammered so hard I thought it would break free. My steps faltered. Curiosity betrayed me, dragging my gaze sideways toward the sound. An alley, shadows moving. A circle of men. One kneeling on the ground, blood spilling from his mouth. And at the center, him tall, broad-shouldered, wrapped in black-like armor. His suit clung to him, immaculate even in the grime of the alley. His jaw was set like stone, his eyes void of mercy. Power radiated from him, cold and suffocating. He didn't need to raise his voice, his presence silenced everyone. Who is he? No, don't look. Don't let him see you. But he did. His head snapped toward me, and his eyes locked on mine. Cold, piercing. I couldn't breathe. Later, I would hear his name whispered in fear. Ji-woon. But in that moment, all I knew was that death had eyes, and they were staring straight through me. Jabba get her. The command cut through the air like a blade. 2 men lunged toward me. No, wait. My voice shook as I stumbled back, but rough hands closed around my arms before I could run. My curls whipped across my face as I struggled, breath-breaking, eyes wide. The men dragged me into the alley, their grip bruising. Ji-woon stepped forward, slow, deliberate. His shoes clicked against the wet pavement, each sound echoing like a countdown. This is it. This is how I die. He stopped inches away. His gaze swept over me, unreadable, like a predator deciding whether to kill quickly or play first. Wrong place. Wrong time, he muttered. His English was crisp, but his tone cut like ice. My knees weakened. I shook my head violently. I didn't see anything, I swear. Please, please let me go. His lips curved, not into a smile, but into something darker. You think I can let you walk away? After what you saw? Tears burned my eyes, but I bit them back. Something in me refused to beg. My chin lifted, trembling but steady. If you're going to kill me, then do it yourself. The alley stilled. Even his men froze. His hand lifted slowly, brushing against my jaw. His fingers tilted my face upward, forcing me to meet his gaze. Brave, he whispered, almost to himself. Or stupid. His touch lingered, then dropped away. He turned to his men. Take her. But she stays alive. Alive, for now. The blindfold ripped off, and I blinked against harsh light. My wrists were raw, bound until moments ago. The air smelled of leather, smoke, and something metallic. The room was lavish, all marble floors and glass walls. But there was no warmth. A palace, dressed as a cage. Ji-woon leaned casually against a table. His black shirt rolled to his elbows. Calm, controlled, but the tension in the room was alive, coiled like a snake ready to strike. You should be dead already, he said. His voice was deep, measured. You saw something you shouldn't. Do you understand what that means? I swallowed hard. My throat was dry, but I'm not safe. A low, humorless chuckle escaped him. Not safe. No fun me. It means you have no future. My heart skipped. He knew my name. How? I tried to mask the terror with defiance. Then why am I still alive? If you want me dead, do it. Stop wasting time. For the first time, his expression faltered. My boldness cut through the silence like glass. Most people begged. Most people cried. But not me. He stepped closer, slow and deliberate. His presence suffocated the air between us. Do you think courage will save you? His voice dropped to a whisper, intimate and deadly. Do you think I won't pull the trigger just because you don't beg? My pulse raced, but I lifted my chin higher. If I'm going to die, I'd rather do it with my pride intact. His men shifted uneasily, waiting. But Ji-woon only leaned closer, his dark eyes searching mine as though he could peel away my soul. I can see you're tough, he murmured. My lips trembled. But I whispered back, because I have nothing to lose. Something flickered in his eyes, anger, curiosity, something dangerous. He straightened abruptly and snapped to his men. Untie her. They hesitated. Now the ropes fell. I rubbed my wrists, glaring at him. You're not free, he said coldly. From this moment, you belong to me. You breathe because I allow it. You eat because I decide it. Try to run, and I'll personally end you. My chest rose and fell rapidly, anger and fear colliding. But my voice came out low, steady. I will never belong to you. The room froze. His men exchanged nervous glances. Then, slowly, Ji-woon smiled. Not kind, not soft, but sharp, dangerous. You're going to be interesting. They didn't throw me in a cell the next morning. They threw me in a room full of weapons. The training hall was concrete and echo, lined with racks of guns and knives that gleamed under a hard, surgical light. Mats, scarred by old fights, spread like islands. Ji-woon stood at the center, in a black shirt with the sleeves rolled. Veins like blue wires down his forearms, expression carved from control. I hated how calm he looked. I hated more that calm looked good on him. Don't stare. Don't give him anything. He towed a knife toward me. Pick it up. I folded my arms. Is this the part where you teach me to juggle? A faint breath, almost a laugh, touched the corner of his mouth, then died. He stepped close, the temperature dropping with him. His hand closed around my fingers, settling the hilt into my palm, guiding my stance like he was tuning an instrument. Wider base. Elbow down. Center your weight. He moved in behind me, chest a breath from my back, heat pushing through cotton. The lamp cut his cheekbones into planes. The steel scent rose from the blade and something darker his cologne. Smoke and storm. Careful, I said, staring straight ahead. Touch me like that, and I might start charging. Careful, he echoed at my ear, voice low enough to graze skin. Mouth like that gets people buried. Don't shiver. Don't let him feel it. Hours blurred. Stance, grip, strike. Palms stung. Shoulders burned. Every correction was precise. Every silence louder than shouting. He never raised his voice. He didn't have to. On the last drill, I feinted left and cut right, the blade stopping just shy of his ribs. His eyes flicked down, then up, and something dangerous, something like approval lit. Again, he said, say please. He didn't smile. But his eyes did. He didn't ask me to accompany him that night. He told me the car swallowed us. City lights slid over dark glass, painting Ji-woon in bands of neon and shadow. He adjusted his cuff with the boredom of a man who'd learned to be bored by danger. Why am I coming? I asked. Human shield, mascot. Emotional support hostage. Cover, he said, watching the city instead of me. Smile, and people stop asking questions. I don't smile for kidnappers. Then fake it. Do not like him. Do not like the way he says things like facts, and they become true. The club was a cathedral of sin chandeliers, like constellations, red velvet breathing, smoke. Money laughed in the corners. Men who owned streets shook hands like they shook dice. I walked in black silk that draped and cut at once. Curls a wild crown, mouth wine bright. Heads turned, then pretended not to. Ji-woon's hand rested at my waist, a quiet claim, as if reminding the room who I belonged to. I'm not your accessory, I said from the smile I pinned on. You're my silence, he murmured. That voice doing what it always did, making gravity choose a side. Stand there and be louder than questions. Breathe. Look expensive. Look unbothered. Don't look at him. He worked the room like a blade. Names, nods, threats laced in sugar. I watched his mouth move and told myself I didn't. Then the sound tore the music in half. Gunfire. Screams snapped the glamour like thread. Glass detonated across marble. Smoke unfurled from somewhere unseen. Grey veils pulling over gold. Ji-woon's men materialized, guns up. The shooters were already in their house. 3. 4 eyes hunting for a crown. My body moved before my brain, back toward the stair rail, breath-locking. A shoulder slammed mine, and the world jittered. I tasted metal. A hand caught me, his. He yanked me in, turning us both, pushing me into his chest until silk and wool forgot which was which. One of the shooters climbed the far steps, muzzle skimming the crowd, gaze finding the shape of a king. Ji-woon didn't look. He didn't need to. His arm drew me up and in, his face already lowering. Kiss me, he said, too soft for anyone but me. What? I breathed. Now he found my mouth. It should have been a mask and nothing more. My hands should have stayed flat, resisting. But heat hit like a falling city. The noise fell underwater. His mouth was command and prayer, and something he didn't want to admit. I kissed back. This is survival. This is not real. This is not. His hand tightened at my waist. His other splayed at the small of my back, the kind of touch people write vows for and destroy nations over. He kissed like a man who didn't allow mistakes and didn't believe in mercy. And then the room remembered to breathe. His men finished what they'd started. The last shooter went down, smoke thinning into the glitter of fallen glass. The chandelier hung crooked, crystals crying light. Slowly he broke the kiss, but not the closeness. Our mouths, still sharing a breath that didn't know where to live. My lips were flushed, my eyes blown wide. A tremor moved through me, and he felt it like a secret. That was, I started. Effective, he said. Voice rawer than he intended. No one saw me. No one saw you. My first, I whispered, almost to myself. Something cracked and hid in his face. We didn't speak in the car back. We argued with silence. At the mansion. He dismissed everyone with a look that would have emptied a church. The corridor stretched long and gold. My pulse kept tripping. He followed me into the room. Why did you do that? I spun, words shaking. You could have ducked, moved, anything. You kissed me. He leaned his shoulders into the door, letting it latch with a soft, expensive click. His throat bore a raw line where a flying shard had kissed him first. I protected us, he said. That was my first. I spat. And you, it meant everything, he said. He crossed the space slowly, as if speed might ruin something that didn't survive rough handling. He touched my face like a lit match, careful and wanting to burn anyway. Don't do that, I said, softer than I meant. "Don't look at me like the ground under your feet just moved, Amira," he said. My name, the first thing he'd said tonight that sounded like confession. He kissed me again. It wasn't a cover. It wasn't a trick. It was a decision falling. I rose into it, fingers finding his shirt, yanking it, hating and loving the sound it made when buttons argued and lost. He tasted like smoke and something I couldn't name without losing it. "Stop. Say stop." "Don't say when," he said against my mouth, voice frayed. "When?" I whispered, and hated how much it hurt to say. He froze with the restraint of a man who'd taught his hands the art of stopping a second before regret. He pressed his forehead to mine and exhaled a sound no one else had ever heard from him, unbearable and human. "I can't," I said, palms flat to his chest, feeling the animal thud there. "Not like this. Not while I'm owned." "You're not," he said, eyes opening into something that almost looked like fear. "You are the only thing I don't own." The room listened. He stepped back one pace, then another, like leaving a cliff and doubting the bridge. His hands shook once and stilled at his sides. "Rest," he said, but it sounded like an apology cut into one syllable. At the door, he paused. "Tomorrow, you don't leave my sight, bossy," I said, because sarcasm was the only armor I had left. "Alive," he corrected, and left the gold light swinging. "Don't cry. Don't miss him. Don't name this." I sat on the edge of a bed that could have slept 4 versions of me and stared at a candle no one had lit. My mouth still remembered him. My body still burned in places prayer wouldn't touch. I hated him. I hated that. I didn't outside. The city breathed like a beast that liked the taste of us. Inside, I learned the sound my heart made when it chose a war. The mansion never slept. It just held its breath. Days blurred into nights, each one heavier than the last. Ji-woon's men circled like shadows with guns, their eyes sharp and restless. I could feel it in the air, something was coming. He was sharper too. Fewer words, more orders, always watching me from a corner like he was trying to solve a puzzle I didn't know I'd become. I told myself not to care. I told myself he was my captor, nothing more. But every time I closed my eyes, I felt his mouth on mine. It was survival. It meant nothing. Then why does it still burn? The night shattered without warning. Gunfire cracked against the mansion's gates, sharp and brutal. Men shouted, boots pounding against marble. The alarms wailed like sirens at a funeral. "Stay in the car," Ji-woon had told me before the mission. "No matter what you hear." But I didn't listen. The moment I heard the blasts, my body moved. I pushed the door open and ran toward the factory floor where the fighting had spilled. The scene was chaos, smoke and blood, bullets sparking off steel beams, men collapsing in waves. And in the center, Ji-woon was a storm unleashed, gun in one hand, knife in the other. Every move was precise, ruthless, like death had trained him personally, until his eyes found me. "What the hell are you doing here?" His roar tore through the gunfire, but it was too late. One of his rivals turned, his face twisted into a grin. "So it's true. The great Ji-woon has a weakness." The gun lifted. The trigger pulled. I screamed. But the bullet never reached me. Ji-woon lunged. The impact knocked the air out of me. His body hit mine, then the ground. Blood sprayed warm against my cheek. No. My hands trembled as I pressed against his chest, trying to stop the flood pouring between my fingers. "Ji-woon, stay with me, please." His men retaliated in fury. The attackers were slaughtered within minutes. But all I could see was him, his breaths shallow, his skin paling under the weight of his own blood. "Why?" I whispered, broken. "Why would you do this?" His eyes locked on mine, dim but burning with something he could no longer hide. "Because you're mine," he gasped, every word dragging fire out of him. "And I will never let anyone take you from me." His head fell back. "No, no, no, don't you dare leave me." My tears mixed with the blood on my hands. This is my fault. If I'd stayed in the car, if I'd listened, he wouldn't move. His men shouted, lifting him, carrying him out while I clung to his hand like it was the last thing tethering me to the world. The hospital reeked of antiseptic and sorrow. Hours crawled like years. I sat hunched in the waiting room, clothes stiff with blood, prayers breaking silently in my chest. Finally, the doctor appeared. "He's alive," he said. "We removed the bullet. He'll recover." My knees buckled. Relief cracked me open. When Ji-woon opened his eyes days later, I was there. His hand was cold, but it curled weakly around mine as though it had been waiting.